Hello, friends. This is Giuliano. It is the 31st of August. We're going to do a weekly and monthly roundup. Take a look at the charts for Bitcoin and some altcoins and enjoy that shit, right? Well, here we go. So, sharing the screen. Well, we start with a Bitcoin USD monthly chart using Bitstamp data. We've got here on the big picture on a monthly level recently hard dumped down to the lower end of the Bollinger Band from the upper end of the Bollinger Band after first being there in the parabolic, impulsive move up, correction into the Bollinger Band, move back up to touch the Bollinger Band at the top again, breakdown, support at the 20-month moving average, breakdown further, and now recently, this past month and two, has been support at the lower end of the Bollinger Band after in June dumping down with the bigger monthly candle to the downside. So just, if we look at the big candles, they're usually followed by some, that's usually I don't want to call it the end because we can watch the price and still go lower and chop and do whatever over time, but it is definitely a significant event. So there you go. I think this is significant candle in June, we'll all say, but here we are at the Bollinger Band, and if it's going to be able to hold the Bollinger Band as support here and bounce around and kind of move in and then bounce up and come back down over the next 6 to 12 candles here, well, 6 candles, let's say, really. That's interesting. And yeah, we'll see what it is in those next 6 to 12 candles, even to 16, 18 candles, which brings us out around here. And that'll tell us where we are in relation to the Ichimoku cloud at that point. And it'll tell us if we had dumped down further in the Bollinger Band, because that's the other option, is now not supporting at the Bollinger Band, dumping further down into what people are expecting on the price action down to these like 12K levels, 14K, 12K, even 10K levels. So yeah, which if you are breaking Bollinger Band down at that type of way, I mean, it's going to be significant enough and you will get your move down there, won't you? And I guess that's it for the monthly, continued negative momentum, but it can start rounding. So we'll see. There is, well, lots of room to go to the downside, but you're still in the 40s, interestingly enough. So, but we are going to have to find a few more months in our lives to keep watching this price chart. All right, so stick around for more. That's BTC on the monthly time frame, really. And yeah, when we take it on the weekly, we see more significantly, we are at that supporting level, but it did bounce after dumping in June, bounced up towards the 200 week moving average, deviated above and back down now after a couple of weeks of negative price action, down towards this key level zone where you had the previous highs and now where you have this local lows, and now is this a rebound, a check back, and some sort of consolidation, even if the price kind of, how do you say, even if the price does wedge lower, and you break the low, whatever, but where are you going? People are going to be scooping it up down here. That is the lower end of the Bollinger Band on the weekly, is down here. So so that is some consideration, that when you break down this level here, that you're currently potentially going to chop or whatever, flag, wedge, figure out a way to break down further, and you come down here. Otherwise, so yeah, even if it is a wedge, though, it could be one of those that then bounces to the upside at some point, and not go all the way down. So yeah, we'll see what ends up happening here around here, because breaking down below this 200-week moving average again is, I guess, significant enough. You can certainly reclaim it and then go from there, but it feels like it's going to take longer than that. If we look more closely here, we're building positive momentum already, but it's nothing to write home about. So get the sense that it's just going to need some time to rebalance. I don't know if it's going to be shooting off to the higher levels of RSI just yet. But even after 1, 2, 3, 4 candles in this weekly chart, we can see the price moving to the positive direction, and maybe even towards the downtrending resistance here from this previous price action, and even possibly challenging, deviating, whatever, with the 20-week moving average. The other option is, yeah, we're back down here sooner than later in this type of time frame, and that's where we'll be talking when those candles are formed at that point, if that's the case. But look for the price action to be stubborn in a way. I get the sense. I don't know who's continuing to dump. Well, anybody, and the markets are also a lot margin traded, so prices can go into all kinds of levels. And yeah, there you go. These are the ideas: low down here, or maintain it here. And so we can look in further videos on shorter time frames, but that's the general thought process for now around BTC. I get the sense that it could hold around here as this bottom, even if, again, that means some chopping around and even making a little lower low, but it's not like it's part of the formation of a bottoming. So whatever that ends up looking like, that's what we're getting here. Otherwise, we'll watch it, maybe even move up one more time, similar to up here, and then come back down, or if it fails fast and hard, all the way down here. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's BTC on the weekly. So let's go to, we're going to go over here, pirate chain, and we're going to look. Here's the weekly. It's finding some support here. I drew out a bit of a channeling here from these price levels to these price levels here. We've also got this downtrending resistance coming up in the next number of months into 2023. So here's some potential support. It's been relatively far away from the lower end of the Bollinger Band, but we'll see what this ends up looking like after. Does it break down, or can it hold some strength? And when we look at the monthly, let's check a look at the monthly. Well below the 20-month moving average, and a possibility of finding its support and then making another bounce and moving out of this downtrending resistance, maybe towards the top of this channel, 20-month moving average, and then we'll see from there back down. But otherwise, you see the momentum of this move. The other option is hang around here and then break down further, which is totally possible. You hang around here, break down further. Yeah. So that's the pirate chain against the BTC. Next, let's go towards the KMD against the BTC. KMD, from back here, we got data into 2017. This is not as long as the chart from Bittrex data. But anyway, recently we've had some volatility to the upside and some support here. Oh, this is the weekly, right? Yep, at this level here, the pre-breakdown level and reclaiming level, and now we're on that level to have been reclaimed. And let's see if it can support it and figure it out. Upcoming is an Ichimoku cloud into 2023 up here, and otherwise 2022. You're looking to get into this region here. Anything below here is trouble for the bulls. Okay, that's the KMD price chart on the weekly. On the monthly, we'll just hold it here as well. So yeah, I mean, the weekly spells that information. The monthly is not quite as formed yet. So we're going to see what happens in this low area. We are towards the low end of the Bollinger Band, but I mean, you can't get to the low end because you're in the negative territory. So at that point, I think we are in an interesting place in this chart. And we'll see as things start to flatten what ends up happening over time over the next 12 to 16 months. That'll be cool. All right, well, there's a KMD on the monthly time frame for you. Let's look for some sort of, yeah, you know, are you gonna form a channel here or not? Well, there's KMD. We'll leave it like that for now. Let's move over to, let's take a look at THETA against BTC price chart. Yeah, look at that. Well, still holding that 20-week moving average, the yellow line here. Still holding it nice and strong, but let's see with this momentum, what's going to end up happening, what can happen. I think just the market is holding on, waiting for a further upward momentum in perception and price action. And then I get the sense that we get cleared out somewhere in these levels. But you never know, you could make it up to the Ichimoku cloud if it's really hot. Yeah, so overall, this is a nice chart, all things considered. Locally, though, it's weak. You know, you had this highs here, and then right soon after this high here. So if you don't kind of stabilize here and then move higher than both of these, then you're definitely going to break down to the lower levels, back down towards this 200 average and this price action here. So yeah, look for it to move, and even if it does move higher than this price action here, how much higher before it turns around is the question. Like, where will the resistance and the selling of the news be, so to speak? Let's find out. Well, stick around for that. And on the monthly, wow, yeah, you're still way below the uptrending 20-month moving average. That's quite interesting. Anyway, so this is an ADA price chart on the monthly time frame against BTC. Cool, looking decent. Let's just roll this here for this general action. Okay, so it's a zone, but it'll be interesting to watch over time. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, wow. Might even retest the 20-month moving average, and then it could always break down further into, like, this next 12 to 16 months will be fun and interesting to watch. So stick around for more. See how these price charts materialize. And that's the ADA BTC. Those of you who are THETA fans, holders, watchers, traders, or haters, well, some of you might have different feelings than others. It's positive momentum waning a bit, but there's nothing in this price chart to give any other indication. Like, the price action is below that 200-week moving average, rejecting, and generally 20-week has crossed below, and so it seems like a matter of time. So that's what it can be for all of them. All of the ones against BTC, it could be making new lows over time, over the next 12 to 24 months, and some more easily than others. Now, others of the price charts, maybe not. Maybe they're going to have some strength. So we'll see. But anyway, here's your THETA price action. Yeah, next level is down here in this range here. Otherwise, yeah, like, you're getting rejected by previous rejections here. So, but that's only current. I mean, you still have time to pop up even higher, and test the 20-month moving average wherever it'll be, but who knows when that'll be and what that'll look like. Yeah, this negative momentum on the monthly chart, it's such a slow molasses, so slow, viscous price action in real time. Oops. Well, not much more to say about theta, I guess, you know. At any time, and this could be the levels where it hangs out, you know, between this lower level here and this level here, the green level and red level, or might have to break down further. Let's find out. Okay. Let's move to TRAC against BTC origin trail. Let's check out TRAC. Well, it's been narrowing. If we look just at the bodies of the candles, small bodies of the candles drifting upward, that's pretty cool. Volatility, but narrowing volatility. And so that's a cool price chart, and it's above the 20-week and the narrowing Bollinger Bands. So let's see what happens. It's also one of the charts that's above its 200-week moving average. So let's see origin trail have a pop to the upside if possible. Otherwise, watch out for waning momentum and a further dump to the downside, which is, yeah, totally possible. You just round off and you come back down to these levels before then finding your bigger base and having a next move up towards these higher levels. So let's watch, find out. But on the monthly, what do we have? Yeah, below the 20-month moving average and Ichimoku cloud that's forming here, the leading Ichimoku cloud line, and they're both serving as a resistance zone. Isn't that interesting? Well, here's the Bollinger Bands, quite wide but horizontal, and price action is swooping below the 20-month moving average, finding this kind of uptrending support zone. So we'll see. It could definitely come back lower, but momentum wise, yeah, any little bit of a positive and negative, yeah. Let's see if it can hold this. But now when we look on the monthly, it looks like it needs to break down further and find it. I don't know if it's going to continue this trend. It's going to be contesting with this Ichimoku cloud and 20-month resistance. So I get the sense TRAC could be coming back down towards this lower level here. We'll see though. Check that weekly again. Yeah, why not? I mean, you got your 200-week moving average here. You can still find your support there, lower end of the Bollinger Band, that kind of stuff. But I think it's a little bit more concerning, I guess. Well, there you go. That's TRAC origin trail against BTC. Interesting one always is BNB. And when we look at the weekly, it's cool. We'll see, yeah, it's drifting sideways, not quite breaking down fully, but it's drifting sideways, and so topping could be happening on the weekly. We have to watch. On the daily, it gives us a bit more information, but keep it here on the weekly for now. You can check the daily in another updating video. Here in the monthly, we have now touching the top of the Bollinger Band. So yeah, this could be the top on the monthly for VNB. Again, these are not closed candles yet. There's less than an hour, but there's still an hour. So here is the top of the VNB chart. Maybe it needs to just continue going sideways before it can push further higher. What a chart VNB against BTC since 2017, data all the way back here, July 2017 candle. And so with this, we see a bit more information, which is top the Bollinger Band is there. And what's going to happen here? Does it can hang out a little bit first before going higher, but at some point It's either going higher or it's getting rejected here, and we all know that. So if we don't know that, well, we're going to find out. And this 20-month moving average next becomes an important potential breakdown level, wherever that's going to be. All right, let's see BNB. And what ended up happening here? Wow, yeah, that's why we have this arrow here. Awesome. If you watched the video where we put the arrow up, tremendous. Loving it. Hope you're doing well. And here is this thought potential bearish, bearish cross on the MACD, but nope, bounce right off. It's like a comedy show here, just bouncing off the bullet, bouncing off the rubber window. Okay, that's incredible. Well, we have to watch on BNB, but you know, as you start to potentially build some forms of divergence or whatever, it does become a perilous, you know, anything that goes up always has heights to fall from. And so not calling anything specific for BNB, but it's like, yeah, never take anything for granted with any of them, I guess, right? I think so. Okay, so that's BNB on the monthly. Let's hit up some more. Who likes Link? Well, a lot of people do, but a lot of people don't. And it's not about whether you like it or not here. We're looking at price charts. So do you like the price chart? Some people do, and some people don't, or maybe not many people do. I mean, I would say people do like it because it did get back to the top of the Bollinger Band after the big dumps down. And it is potentially holding this 20-week moving average for support. So what comes next? A hopeful move to the 200-week moving average and this downtrending resistance here, downtrending price momentum, and we'll see what ends up happening there. But otherwise, you get to break down further to this green line here and hopefully find your bottoming formation before then challenging this. Otherwise, Ichimoku cloud again coming in into 2023. And this is first quarter of 2023. And yeah, what's going to happen there is you'll definitely be pushed down by that energy if you can't fight it. It'll be interesting to watch the Link price chart against BTC. Momentum now waning. So yeah, not looking super hot, but there's the hope for some that it will hold the 20-week moving average. Others think it won't hold. And here you've got some price action, important level here. Maybe this becomes resistance, falls back down towards the lower end of the Bollinger Band, and then find that support there before hopefully moving higher. The momentum definitely negative. So over time, it bodes well for finding some positive momentum relatively. But what does that mean for price? We'll see. Yeah, look for a bottoming formation. Next 12 to 16 months going to be very interesting for the Link BTC price chart. Cool. I like Link on the monthly in terms of what it looks like and what it might become. So we'll see. I'm not in terms of buying or selling, just I'm glad that I looked at it on the monthly. And for the XRP, fellas and ladies and all sorts, here is the weekly price chart, and now the price is just diddling and dwindling out above this kind of zone here. But anyway, what really is that saying to us? Well, more importantly, it's kind of hanging out on above this horizontal level. But yeah, let's see what ends up happening. Does XRP have the opportunity now to bounce into this Ichimoku cloud towards 2023? Here's 2023, and yeah, that'll be interesting to watch. Otherwise, further breakdown and maybe back down towards this lower end of the Bollinger Band. We'll see. Momentum-wise, it's positive currently. So how much more of that? Not sure, but you could have enough to push higher. We'll see. Interesting. The only thing is that locally you are making kind of weaker price action, lower highs. So unless you pop soon enough, I mean, you're probably going to break down. So yeah, it'll be interesting to watch this these price charts against BTC, the altcoin BTC price charts into the end of the 2022 year, which is these candles here, whatever they're going to look like in this time zone. All right. Yeah, all of this time zone here. So that's on the weekly for the XRP. And on the monthly, you know, this thing is still trying to hang out at the underside of the 20-month moving average. But it is, yeah, weaker price action each time. But there is the kind of breakout price action potential. But it's just still below kind of important zones as well. So hard to say, you know, if it's going to have enough to really over time be pushing higher. So, you know, I won't be surprised if it fails here and falls further down towards its lower end. It's just possible on the monthly. Now, at the same time, there is potential for, for a pop higher. But again, then you're looking for a long-term bottoming formation. And so that's what looks decent on the monthly. If you start looking horizontally, you start looking at price action like this, and say, okay, over this next time, if it can find its bottoming here, then there's potential that over time this whole range can be, you know, maybe it even has to go here, but yeah, we'll see what this ends up looking like. It's gonna be pretty fun on the monthly time frames. So stick around for that. That's XRP. We have also Ethereum lovers, and they want to see Ethereum chart. If you have any requests, put them in the comments. I know I'm going to get a couple of requests. So here we go. Yeah, you know, weekly time frame. This is the current week and it's getting a nice push up, but it's into this upper resistance level that was already carved out. So let's see what ends up happening here. Maybe it's just going to be continued lower highs and further move down towards each Ichimoku cloud here towards the end of 2022, which is on to here. So we'll see. This will be interesting. Maybe it won't. Maybe it's going to just have a bit of correction and then, well, because see, into September is the sell the news, isn't it? So we're going to see. We're going to see what these next few weeks looks like. It'll be interesting, but you know, yeah, how much positive momentum really it's going to be? It's not super clear. Like, are you even going to break these, you know, into the 60s? And now, you know, like the mid 60s, are you going to hit past 65? These are important questions on the RSI. Okay, well, there you go. Ethereum looking okay for the next number of weeks. On the monthly, even you could even make new highs. You know, if the recent time frame since 2021, but probably not. But even maybe, and you're getting, you know, top of the Bollinger Band rejections, and then you're coming down towards the 20-month moving average, towards each cloud region into 2023, 2024, and looking for some form of sideways reaccumulation, you know, type of zone into whatever time frame it is. And that's cool because then you can go higher against BTC over time. And, you know, when we reinvert the scale, maybe that's what it looks like. We made a bottom here, significant, comes up, comes back down to really confirm these bottoms. And maybe it takes time, maybe not, maybe it's just a little bit of time into 2023 and then it can go higher, but it has that, sorry, on the other end, like it keeps going lower. But yeah. Oh, well, sometimes we get all inverted. Okay. Yeah, in this case, the reaccumulation would make it higher. If you invert it, it would be like a redistribution and a little lower. So there you go. But really, the case for making lower lows here compared to these, sorry, the case for making lower highs here compared to here, these highs of all-time highs, that's a strong case because, you know, this price action moving up and then coming down here and then coming up here, there's nothing stopping it from getting down here, you know. I mean, you got this Bollinger Band here, lower end. So where does that go and how high and fast does it go? Maybe you are doing, you know, your next move higher after a accumulation, reaccumulation, and that sort of thing. So there you go. This will be very interesting to watch over, again, the next 12 to 16 months, over the next number of weeks. Yep. Over the next number of weeks, I see the price can come down. It can kind of stay up. It could do whatever around here, but it'll be into the next. Sorry, this is the monthly. So into the next months, it can be around here. So the weeks it can kind of move around, but that will barely look like anything on the monthly. It's a couple of candles. So we're going to see what that ends up looking like. Yeah, I get the sense that it'll stay lower. I think this will be a lower high than this previous high, but we'll see. Maybe not. Maybe it'll challenge it up here and then come back down first, you know, into the merge narrative. But whatever, it could also be that other narratives come out that turns it around instead from this lower level back to the downside. So let's find out. That's Ethereum. This is quite fascinating if you're into crypto and crypto price charts. I hope this is enjoyable for you and you're getting a picture of what things are looking like. So we move on to XMR Monero into the Ichimoku cloud up against the 200-week moving average after previous strong supporting from the uptrending 20-week moving average. Top of the Bollinger Band rejection. It looks like we're probably going, oh, we're not getting good data here, are we, on XMR? Oh, that happened last time too, eh? Like this. Let's go to XMR. XMR, BTC. Where is that data? Whatever. Let's see, how long is that? Yeah, that's the monthly. Perfect. Okay. Bollinger Band's here. Top of the Bollinger Band. Yeah, looks like we can be rejecting here. Now that's the monthly, and these are zones where doesn't mean rejecting needs to be hard dumps down. I mean, it could, but it could just be rejecting and building a next base here with these kinds of lows here as a, you know, 20-month moving average as support. We'll see though. That'll be tough on the weekly. Yeah, there you go. So 200 weeks. So it made it up. Wow, to the top of the cloud. Beauty, more narrow. Concern here on XMR is then you start making, well, however you're going to start lining up the angles. You know, yeah, you got this so far, so whatever, maybe even move higher and find some support here. That's pretty wild, but overall, you could totally just yeah, find your rejection here, the top here. That's a lot of momentum to get back to the top here. This is a previous zone of significance, so this could be a rejection zone here. So those are the two potentials on the weekly. You know, it could explode higher, or yeah, it could definitely be turning around to the downside here. You look at the Bollinger Band as a rejection level here on the monthly potential. So then the next step would be yeah, find some sort of support here, you know, I try and hold that, but the next potential is, yeah, you got this lower end of the Bollinger Band down here, and you continue making some sort of lower low, and this whole thing becomes a redistribution, and you're dumping down. Yeah, sell off down to these price levels down here. Wow. Oh, Monero, looking for this to be the significant bottom on Monero for the monthly time frame, and then all of this price action here to be some sort of like accumulating price action. But that's an interesting sell. So we'll see. An interesting a narrative, an interesting proposition here. So we move on from XMR back to DOT against BTC. DOT against BTC, getting resisted against 20-week moving average, lower highs, waning positive momentum towards relatively negative momentum. We'll see how long that lasts on the weekly. On the monthly, could totally hang out down here and even come lower towards this lower end of Bollinger Band. But yeah, it would totally hang out here. Then again, it could also, pop higher first before coming back down. So what does that look like on the monthly? We'll see. It's going to take a bit of time to develop for DOT against BTC on the monthly. But so far it's looking interesting if it can hold that support where it is now. Yeah. FTM on the weekly getting rejected at this 20-week moving average. Yeah, not much more left in that. Probably it's going to have to come back down and find its bottoming and hopefully create a nice bottom there. Otherwise, more pain. And then on the monthly, yeah, it was just a straight line down, basically, and on the monthly, and then now you're just getting a little relief and probably coming back down, and then you're going to see what's next. What's next? You hope to base out in this zone. You can't fall this far down, this hard, this fast, and then not bounce a bit, but also need to make a base first. Otherwise, like you're not just gonna move all the way back up. Not in this market, not FTM BTC. It's not going to work like that. Not on the monthly. Just doesn't seem that way. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it's coming back up towards this level here, or even a 20-month first before it comes further back down. We'll see. Helpful though, as we saw on the weekly, it's got some resistance currently. But yeah, it can jump above that. If it goes above the 20-week moving average, then that's locally bullish on FTM. Solana on the weekly against BTC, definitely past couple weeks has been rejected and now kind of pausing. But yeah, this 20-week moving average seems to be strong enough resistance, and we're looking for some sort of potential bearish MACD cross. But yeah, it could hang on for a little while longer. But I do get the sense that ultimately it's going to have to come back down and at least retest these lows here. And make some sort of higher low version or a lower low version before finding its bottom, and also just starting to create whatever bottom formation it's going to do. Then, potentially eventually break out of this downtrending price action resistance in towards 2023 here. So we'll see what that looks like though on this price chart. It's going to need time on the weekly. And on the monthly, yes, monthly definitely. So that gives us more of a hint that we are going to take more time down in this area, because look, this price, I mean, sure, it could bounce back up, but it's gotten rejected above in the past couple months, and then now, now it's just dumping down further. So, yep, more time here. Now, it could be finding its bottom, and that's fine. This whole price range here is okay for finding its bottom and making a bigger bottom formation, but at the same time, I think this is far enough away that it gets the sense that it could be coming down here into this zone here somewhere first before that ends up happening. So let's see. It was a big move. And the other option is it actually is a deviation back below the 20-month moving average, and the price can get back above and do something. But yeah, it'll be interesting to watch Solana price chart against BTC for the next 12 to 16 months here. So stick around for more monthly and weekly roundups. Now we've got AVAX against BTC on the weekly, finding some nice kind of pausing support at this zone of support here. But is it going to hold? I feel like it needs to come back down towards here, confirm this type of lows, and also just get some support from lower end of the Bollinger Band, especially you're getting rejected by a 20-month moving, or sorry, 20-week moving average after a long uptrend that then got broken down and retested. And yeah, so get the sense that this level, but if you're holding this level, wow, that's super strong, especially with this strong downtrending 20-week moving average. That means you would get above it in the next few weeks or whatever. So yeah, more downside for AVAX is the sense of the story. And we'll give you that trend line there, and we'll give us this trend line here for now, because that gives us a nice short time frame. It'll be interesting to see into this time frame. Where is the price? Is it going to be down here, or will it have hopped over this this price energy down here? Okay, cool. Well, it kind of follows that 20-week moving average, doesn't it? Now on the monthly, yeah, rejection at the 20-month moving average. And so, yeah, looks like, unless you can hang out here, I mean, maybe you can find your bottoming and hang out here, right? Possible, but less likely. So danger, come down towards these levels possibly. We'll see. Maybe just these levels again, kind of double bottom. It's totally cool. But yeah, no, this candle is more of an intermediate candle. So ultimately that would mean you got your move down here, you're pausing intermediate and kind of reversaling, a kind of topping of the reversaling, and then come back down and break below further of this pausing. This whole thing becomes a pausing move initiated by this first kind of pausing candle. And then you're down towards the lower levels that make more sense. We'll see, but that seems very possible for AVAX against BTC. Well, again, next 4 months will be very interesting on this chart, that's for sure. Yeah, cool. If you're still around, sticking around, that's awesome. We have a handful more and then we're done. So we've got MATIC against BTC. MATIC against BTC, wow, it's holding sideways strength here. Good for you, MATIC against BTC. So that's cool. We'll readjust this trend line as we go. I mean, it is what it is. It was formed by this price action. So let's see what ends up happening, right? This is kind of a loose price zone, but yeah, cool. Good job, MATIC, on the weekly, but we got to watch what kind of positive momentum you can maintain. Otherwise, it'll be a kind of topping, rejectioning region, and you're going to fall back down with your momentum and probably price. Yeah. On the monthly, yeah, well, lower high, right? Now highs, lower highs technically, in the monthly closing was higher, but the intra-month lower, and it was also the second test of the Bollinger Band. The first one was in that then the impulsive move up that breaks up much higher than the Bollinger Band, comes back into the Bollinger Band, retest Bollinger Band, come back down 20-month moving average, pop up, nice support. I mean, it deviated below, so it got a nice pop up when it did get back above. Now the question is, what happens here? Do you get back up to the top here, or quite likely do you turn around and come back down and test the 20-month moving average? So we'll see. Momentum wise, you got a potential here to cross, but you also to cross bullish, but you also have the potential to turn back over into further bearish momentum. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to watch MATIC over the next, oh, I'd say, yeah, four months for sure on the monthly time frame. Atom against BTC. Into the Ichimoku cloud on the weekly from underneath. Still staying strong this week, but yeah, potential resistance here. You're at the top of the Bollinger Band as well. So what's it going to be? Bottom, lower end of the Bollinger Band, top of the Bollinger Band. You just start breaking to the higher levels right away. Got Ichimoku cloud resistance. So a good chance that this positive momentum will wane and cross over into negative bearish momentum as well, which is totally fine. And you're looking for support at this 20-week moving average, get some support below Ichimoku cloud and get higher above it. But there's also a likelihood of making it back towards the lower end of the Bollinger Band down here. So this next 12 to 16, well, no, months probably will be interesting, but let's see what that looks like actually on the monthly. Next 12 to 16 weeks will be interesting too, but yeah, it'll be the months, like, because look, you're back above the 20-month moving average, but it's been 3 positive candles in a row. You're at this kind of resistance level. So what's going to happen here? You know, are you going to have a bullish cross into further positive momentum, or are you just going to turn back around into negative momentum, further negative momentum? So yeah, totally cool. And then this becomes just this horizontal price action with hopefully an uptrending support. But we'll see. Cool, good for you. And I bet if we channel this thing, we'll start to get, you know, some sort of center line here and whatever. It's just kind of around that area. So look for a return back down below, but keep an eye out for potential move higher, you know, start breaking above this Ichimoku cloud, but that's going to require a lot of upward price action energy. We can check that on the daily price chart to get more ideas and information around that. So RUNE, yeah, still following this support level here, trying to get and maintain it as support and then break above this downtrend price action. Otherwise, you're coming to the lower end of the Bollinger Band on the weekly, and that's quite likely. We're looking for a potential bearish cross on the MACD over the next week or so, week or two. And on the monthly RUNE, you know, you're at a key support level here on the monthly, and you're only dealing with 1 month candles here. So very easy for the price to break down below these levels, down to these lower levels. Very easy. Down towards the lower end of the Bollinger Band. RUNE, BTC, feels likely, but we'll see what ends up happening. Stick around for more of that. NEAR, if you are using or have used or interested in NEAR protocol, this week has been a move up, but likely going to be more rejection around the 20-week moving average. We'll see though. You never know. Look, we made a bullish MACD cross on the momentum side of things. So if anything, you can look for a move up and then find some key levels that if they break down, yeah, like if you start, you know, closing below this 20-week moving average and such, and then you get out of it. But otherwise, you have potential to move higher. But yeah, we're going to see NEAR against BTC on the weekly. What's it going to do? This is relatively good if it can get up higher, but then you got Ichimoku cloud to contend with on top of the Bollinger Band here. So, and this price, right, this price action here. So yeah, maybe it even does pop up here. That's cool. That's pretty awesome. Then you're above this price action, downtrending, you're to the right side of it. But there's also a good likelihood you get some rejection here. You make on the weekly locally, you know, you make a lower high here on this candle compared to the previous candle, and you just keep dumping further down. So yeah. Okay. All right, that's NEAR on the weekly, and on the monthly, you know, you got some support at the 20-month moving average, likelihood that it can come back down and try and maintain that support. But we're going to see what ends up happening on the weekly on the monthly for near. Then we get the DOGE. Let's check a look at the DOGE on the weekly. Yeah, potential ranging, top of this downtrending channel, so it's likely going to get rejected. But anyway, yeah, look for some ranging here in DOGE, trying to hold that 20-week moving average, but it looks like it's breaking down. So, well, could be falling down to these lower levels first, you know, after getting rejected at this downtrending resistance energy. And yeah, you're getting rejected at the 20-month moving average. So look for the price to move further down, and it could totally hit this lower levels here of like 100 Satoshis, you know, whatever it's going to be. All right, well, we're going to see the Doge coin. That's the monthly for Doge. And then finally, TRX, since we've got it here in this sideways range on the weekly, long term potentially, and it's bumping up against this resistance. And so after some kind of supportive action here, I feel like it's going to be a lower high locally on the weekly, and it's probably going to keep going down. That's just the sense I get of it. So the Ichimoku cloud is going to be important on that one. And here, wow, you really want to keep upward momentum. You do have opportunity for that, but wow, good likelihood you're coming back down towards here. All right, next 4 months are going to be interesting for TRX, 100%. Awesome. Stick around to keep an eye out. All right, that's it for me. I'm done. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you're still watching, hit the like button. I'm wishing you love, peace, and happiness. Goodbye.